Welcome back, Guardians. With the House of Wolves, Bungie released a lot of lore on the Fallen and how they fell, how the Queen took over her wolves and how she changed the solar system in doing so. This is the story of the Reef Wars, and we start with the Scatter. The transmission was broadcast on all Fallen frequencies. Lacking at the time the ability to crack Fallen encryptions, the Master of Crows could only discern that their Fallen houses were all talking to each other. This was a thing that had never happened before. The Techians looked earthward and saw that the Fallen were becoming bolder. Tactics suggested that they were planning a massive attack on the city. With no interplanetary arrays, no way to warn the Earth, we thought we would be able to do nothing but watch. But then, the walls arrived from the Jehovians. Their army was hundreds of thousands, perhaps millions strong. A dark wave that washed over the reef, rushing towards the Earth. As soon as we saw them, it was clear that if the wolves reached Earth, the city would fall. Ceres rules the asteroid belt. Ceres is the White Queen of this space. 400 million kilometers from the sun, Ceres is round. Round means power. Out here, nothing else in the belt is big enough to crush itself into a sphere of its own gravity. Ceres has its own chemical stars, shavings of salt and ice that glint in orbit, like a crown. There are other lights, newer stars, newer crowns, warship engines. Another queen is coming to conquer Ceres, because Ceres is full of warrens and shipyards and inhabitants, because Ceres is round and lucky as a servitor, because Ceres is full of the wolves she wants to rule. Shark-fierce ships gathering squadrons and tribes, skiffs, ketches. The Kell of Wolves has a fleet gathered here. The Kell of Wolves heard the call, the transmission that was broadcasted on all Fallen frequencies, and summoned the House of Wolves to prepare for the great battle on Earth. The salvation of the Kell's people demands on their ability to shatter the city. It is a matter of survival. Seemingly oblivious to our existence, the bulk of the Wolf fleet stopped to regroup at Ceres. The Queen's decision was this: attacking the House of Wolves, thereby saving Earth, but revealing the Reef's presence to any and all enemies in the quadrant, or remain silent, preserving the Reef's invisibility, but allowing the city to perish. Now, the Wolf fleet turns to meet the Queen. See the squadrons of skiffs wrapping themselves in stealth, cold and transparent, knife now invisible and brave. See the ketches, like broad blades, the bright thoughts of a servitor guiding them to battle, all doomed. The Kell of Wolves will never make it to the Twilight Gap. The Kell of Wolves put all that strength in one place, and now the Queen of the Reef is coming to break it. Out there, coming out of the dark, are the Awoken. Not such a great fleet, is it? Little fighters scattered around like four-pointed fawns, destroyers and frigates and salvage hulls pulled out of the reef, and right at the front, at the spear tip, lies the Queen. The Awoken fleet cut their engines. They drift. The Wolf Kell, practical and brave, considers the chance that the Awoken have some sort of secret weapon, something they glean from the hulks in the reef whispered up by the witches. The Kell thinks that the House of Wolves can win decisively. The Kell sends challenge and warning. I am Lord of Wolves, the Kell sends. You are an empty thing with 2 dead souls. This is my house. These are my terms. Surrender, and I will only take your ships. The Queen's ships broadcast. I am noble too, she says, O Lord of Wolves. The Kell doesn't mind a little bit of banter before the kill. It gives the wolf ships longer to draw out the battle away from Ceres. The Kell replies, you have no line, you have no power. Captains and barons signal their readiness. Skolas, Empirus, and Ixis, Drevis, Pekis, Paraxis, all of them bound by fear and loyalty, all ready for war. Starlight was my mother, the Queen's ship whispered in an eerie erratic radio burst. Servitors began to report a strange taste in the void, and my father was the dark. Here at last, too late, the Kell begins to feel fear. Call on them then, the Kell sends, one last mocking signal before death and ruin, and see what they have to offer. So the Queen calls, only as she can. Every servitor and every ketch hears it. Every captain and every baron roars as their underlings and sensors go blind, as firing solutions falter, as reactors stutter and power systems hum with induction. Stealth fails, space warps. The House of Wolves shout in spikes of war code, maneuvers wild, and they fire blind. There's silence on the battlefield. Nothing. Then suddenly, an eerie sound occurs. Behind the Queen's ship, the Harbingers finally awaken. The Harbingers ripped into Ceres, destroying the asteroid and killing Varixis, the Kell of Wolves, and more than half of his house. The remaining wolves scattered, burrowing deep into the belt for cover. There, new claims to the Kell ship quickly arose. Arixis, the Wolf Baroness, Pyraxis, the Howling, and Skolas, the Rat. This, Guardians, was the Scatter. This is only part 1 of the Reef War. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment and subscribe. Until next time, Guardians, take it easy.